Lizzo, the mind behind pop hits like Truth Hurts and Juice, became globally beloved for her upbeat music alongside her body positivity values and celebration of her physique. Lizzo's been widely understood to be a good influence of accepting yourself and others, however it seems like that was just a well-placed shtick. On Tuesday, the controversial side of her career was put on blast with a lawsuit, first reported by NBC News, that was filed in Los Angeles Superior Court by 3 of Lizzo's former dancers. Many fans were shocked by this news since her message of self-love was as convincing as it was. But after reflecting on Lizzo's career, the singer was never as harmless as she wanted us to believe. Today we are going to be looking back at the top 10 Lizzo red flags we shouldn't have ignored. Coming in at number 10 is the lawsuit filed by Ariana Davis, Crystal Williams, and Noel Rodriguez. The dancers made several allegations including religious and racial harassment, disability discrimination, assault, and false imprisonment. They allege that the singer once pressured Davis to inappropriately touch a nude performer while in Amsterdam, saying, quote, "Lizzo began inviting cast members to take turns touching the nude performers and eating bananas protruding from the performers." The complaint goes on to accuse Lizzo of pressuring Ariana Davis to touch the breasts of the nude women performing at the club and began leading a chant goading her to do so, despite her expressing discomfort. The plaintiffs say they were shocked about how little regard Lizzo showed for the bodily autonomy of her employees and those around her. The suit goes on to say that Lizzo pressed Davis for an explanation as to why she seemed less bubbly and vivacious than she did prior to the tour starting. Davis argues that the questions were, quote, "thinly veiled concerns about her weight gain, which Lizzo had previously called attention to after noticing it at the South by Southwest festival." The women also accused the dance captain Shirlene Quigley of religious harassment. Quigley allegedly monitored Davis's virginity and, quote, singled out Rodriguez as a non-believer. The last part of the complaint regards the assault claim that Rodriguez made against Lizzo, claiming that she approached the dancer and began, quote, aggressively yelling profanities, cracking her knuckles, and balling her fists, apparently preparing herself to attack, which led to Lizzo allegedly having to be restrained. Additionally, Davis alleged that this assault happened after she was, quote, confined to a room against her will and told she's not allowed to leave unless she submitted to a search of the contents of her phone. Davis claimed she was fired for recording a meeting without Lizzo's knowledge, but says she believes her termination was due to her aforementioned weight gain. Williams was also terminated for alleged budget cuts just weeks after being wrongfully accused of drinking on the job, while Rodriguez resigned. At number 9 is Lizzo's creative director speaking out. After the lawsuit of the former dancers went public, more of Lizzo's former employees are speaking out in support of them. In fact, just hours after the women came forward with allegations, Lizzo's former creative director, Quinn Whitney Wilson, and dancer Courtney Hollenquest claimed they experienced similar treatment. In an Instagram story posted on Tuesday, Hollenquest wrote, "For clarification, I'm not part of the lawsuit, but this was very much my experience in my time there. Big shout out to the dancers who had the courage to bring this to light." Soon after, Wilson shared a screenshot of Hollenquest's statement to her own Instagram story where she said, quote, echoing everything that was already said. Wilson went on to say, "I haven't been a part of that world for around 3 years for a reason. I very much applaud the dancers' courage to bring this to light, and I grieve for parts of my own experience. I'd appreciate space to understand my feelings," she concluded with. To which Hollenquest replied back to the creative director saying, "My sister forever, only a few know what we've been through. Love you, Quinn." At number 8 is Lizzo's ableist lyric controversy. In 2022, Lizzo released the song entitled Girls on her 4th studio album Special. The song received a ton of backlash from fans about a lyric that contained a word many deemed to be ableist. The offensive word in question came from the song's lines, "Do you see, I'm a spaz." The term spaz has often been used as slang or a slur to describe losing, quote, physical or emotional control, but has fallen increasingly out of fashion because of the word's origin from spastic, defined as a form of muscular weakness, otherwise known as spastic paralysis, which is a typical symptom of cerebral palsy. In an article by blog OK Player, author Clementine Williams put into perspective why this word was used, saying, quote, "During the 90s era of hip-hop, spaz was not used to make fun of the disabled community, but as a descriptor for going wild, usually for when one is partying and losing themselves to the atmosphere. However, it's become pretty well known in society that this term is no longer acceptable to use, and for someone as popular as Lizzo, this seems like a big oversight from her and her team." Lizzo went on to release a new version of the song Girls and sent out a statement on Twitter bringing attention to why she was changing this lyric. The tweet read, "Let me make one thing clear, I never want to promote derogatory language. As a black fat woman in America, I've had many hurtful words used against me, so I understand the power words can have, whether intentionally or in my case unintentionally. This is the result of me listening and taking action. As an influential artist, I'm dedicated to being part of the change I've been wanting to see in the world. This was the correct reaction to such claims. She really couldn't have handled the situation any better, but her current allegations don't have as easy a fix as changing a word in a lyric, so it'll be interesting to see how she handles the claims of her hostile work environment." At number 7 is the plagiarism claim she received. Back in October of 2019, songwriting brothers Justin and Jeremiah Raisin claimed they attended a writing session with Lizzo, Jesse St. John, and Eves Rothman in 2017. The group proceeded to write a song entitled Healthy, which included the now infamous TikTok trend line, "I just took a DNA test, turns out I'm 100% that expletive." Lizzo went on to feature this line in her hit single Truth Hurts, which prompted the Raisin Olsen brothers to accuse Lizzo of plagiarizing it without giving them the good grace of crediting them in the song in an Instagram story. The story read, quote, "We were never contacted about being credited for the use of parts of Healthy, such as the melody, lyrics, and chords that appear in Truth Hurts. The only people credited for the song are Lizzo, producer Ricky Reed, producer Tele, and Jesse St. John, everyone except the Raisins." The brothers continued to post by saying, after reaching out to Ricky Reed and Lizzo's team about fixing it, "We put the song in dispute in 2017 when it came out. We've tried to sort this out quietly for the last 2 years, only asking for 5% each, but we're shut down every time. Coming forward publicly to family, friends, artists, and colleagues seems to be the only way at this point in relieving some of our emotional distress caused by this." Lizzo ended up denying these claims, but did give credit to Mina Lioness for sharing a meme that included the now famous line. In August 2018, Lioness tweeted, "If she thought I had autonomy to truly challenge her and assert my rights, she would have given me writer's credit already. We didn't have the same idea. It was my tweet that was taken from Twitter and put into a song. Now everybody believes those words are hers, when in fact they're mine. My creativity, my wit, and my comedy." Lioness is now credited as a co-writer on the track. At number 6 is when Lizzo accused a Postmates driver of stealing her food. In September of 2019, Lizzo accused a Postmates driver of stealing her food in a tweet that read, "Hey Postmates, this girl Tiffany W stole my food. She's lucky I don't fight anymore," along with a photo of the alleged delivery person. She then deleted the tweet. A company spokesperson later told the singer that the driver waited 5 minutes for Lizzo, but she had to move on when she did not appear to pick up her food. Lizzo then issued an apology to the driver with another tweet that read, "I apologizing for putting that girl on blast. I understand I have a large following and there were so many variables that could have put her in danger. I'm gonna need to be more responsible with my use of social media and check my petty and my pride at the door." Lizzo wrote on Twitter, "Couriers earn very little money delivering food for Postmates, so when underpaid workers are doing unpredictable, time-consuming and labor-intensive work, it's never a great look to publicly shame them the second your food doesn't arrive on time." At number 5, she lashed out at an album review. In April, after her album "Cause I Love You" began to pick up a slew of positive reviews, Pitchfork published a lukewarm review of the record. The reviewer gave the record a 6.5 out of 10 and called Lizzo, quote, "clearly a talent," but that was not positive enough for Lizzo, who later tweeted, "People who review albums and don't make music themselves should be unemployed." Lizzo later deleted the tweet, but doesn't she have enough money to brush off a 6.5 out of 10? That's not even that bad. At number 4 is when Lizzo openly said some pretty inappropriate comments about BTS. In a CBS interview where Lizzo listens to the K-pop band's music for the first time, she says she would collaborate with the boys, but her comments took an unnecessarily risque turn when she mentioned she wouldn't be able to focus on making music because she wouldn't be able to keep her hands off them. She said this in an obviously more graphic way, and although it sounds like she was saying it as a joke of some sort, people did not find it funny at all. Many fans of BTS rightfully criticized Lizzo for being extremely disrespectful, and this isn't the first time Lizzo made inappropriate comments about other artists. During an interview on Kiss Breakfast with Tom and Daisy, Lizzo made similar remarks about Harry Styles, where she joked that she and Styles had slept together. As well, at a concert in Miami, she invited the former One Direction star to come up on stage with her, and as they sang together, Lizzo seemingly tried to grab Styles' butt. He smiled along and even grabbed back at her, but fans still accused Lizzo of sexualizing the singer without his consent. Especially after the recent allegations coming out about her, this situation has an entirely new air of disgust on it. Our number 3 spot concerns the director who dropped out of her documentary. Oscar-nominated filmmaker Sophia Nolly Allison says she dropped out as a director of Lizzo's documentary in 2019 after facing mistreatment from her. In an Instagram story posted earlier this week, Allison states that, quote, "In 2019 I traveled a bit with Lizzo to be the director of her documentary. I walked away after about 2 weeks. I was treated with such disrespect from her. I witnessed how arrogant, self-centered, and unkind she is. I was gaslit and deeply hurt, but I've healed since. Reading such reports makes me realize how dangerous the situation is. This kind of abuse of power happens way too often." Our runner-up concerns the negative comments she made about Taylor Swift. In an Instagram Live, Lizzo spoke to her 13.5 million followers, praising Beyonce's concert in Warsaw, calling her one of the best out there. When she proceeded to say, "The most popular person of today isn't even comparable to what Beyonce is doing, and many of Taylor's fans believe it was aimed at her due to the singer recently making record-breaking sales for her Eras tour and currently dominating the charts." Lizzo never mentioned Swift by name, but that didn't stop fans from supporting Swift on TikTok, sharing the clip of Lizzo's live saying there's no reason for Lizzo to shade her or even attempt to compare the two. One person commented, "Beyonce and Taylor's shows are both phenomenal. They're some of the best performers of our time, and comparing them is so icky." Our number 1 spot goes to when a man trampled a woman at one of Lizzo's shows and she still invited him on stage to sing with her. During a concert in 2017, Twitter user Ola's Truth experienced a man trample over her while she was in a wheelchair, Lizzo's dancers having to force him off of her. The man was wearing platform heels and stepped on not only her wheelchair but also her legs, causing injury. Even after this horrific situation, Lizzo still proceeded to invite the specific man on stage stage to sing with her. On Twitter, Ola wrote, "No one should be surprised Lizzo did this in regards to the recent lawsuit." Lizzo also DM'd the woman a half-hearted apology where she claimed to not have seen the man, as well as promising meet and greet tickets at her next show in DC, which never came to fruition. And that is our top 10 Lizzo red flags we shouldn't have ignored. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next one.